Hi sewing friends, welcome back to my channel, She Sews Happiness. I'm Mary Ellen and this is basically a recap of what I have completed this week and what I hope to get started on this weekend and over the course of next week. So I ended up having to work on a Friday, which was not enjoyable. I haven't worked a Friday in such a long time, so it's taken a bit of a mind shift for me to realise I only have a short weekend ahead, which isn't great. So I probably won't get very much done. Nevertheless, that's not the worst of it. The worst of it is I'm dying with a cold. My throat is painful. I am so bunged up. It's just miserable. My head is banging, my ears hurt. I have sinus problems at the best of times, so this is not ideal. But it gives me an excuse to craft, because sometimes when I'm feeling a little under the weather, all I really want to do are little crafty bits. So this evening, Friday evening, will be spent with a lovely takeaway. I don't cook on a Friday. And my cross stitch project, which I've shared with you in a previous video. So hopefully I'll make a little bit of progress on that. But I'm trying to think where I left off. Last week, I was off last Friday, I think, yes. And I was cutting out a pile of projects. So I'm wearing one of my finished projects from last weekend. I made 2 Georgie dresses, kind of batch sewing, if you can call 2 garments batch sewing. So I made, again, 2 houndstooth Georgie dresses, which is Sew Over It Georgie. Gorgeous jersey wrap over dress. I love this pattern. I think this is the 5th one that I have in my wardrobe. So I've made it in this black and, I was going to say black and white, but it's not really, it's black and grey. And I made it in a blue and black. So this is the fabric that I got from Craftswoman in Carrickfergus. I'll pop pictures in so you can see it being worn properly. And I also made it up in a lovely dark blue and black houndstooth, which was a fabric that I got from Sew Over It. Both Ponte di Roma fabrics, and absolutely love wearing these. These are my go-to work, be comfortable but look smart and professional at the same time dresses. And I could not recommend this pattern enough. It is of course lined, so it's quite cozy as well for this time of year, particularly in a heavier weight fabric such as this one. So yes, absolutely recommend this pattern. It does come with 2 skirt variations, and you'll see that I'm always wearing the gathered version, and it's only very, very gentle gathers, so there's no bulk in the areas where you may not, if you're like me, want any bulk. But it also comes with a half, I think it's a half circle skirt. I don't think it's a full circle skirt. I believe it's a half circle skirt. But I have stopped wearing those for one main reason. I live in Ireland. And one of the main characteristics of island life is that you can never know when that next gust of wind is going to come and reveal you to the world. So as much as I love a proper full circle or swing skirt, I tend not to wear them very often. They're not very practical for when I'm out and about, especially on a work day. So I always opt for the gentle gathered version. And I'm going to be honest, when I'm making this, I don't follow the pattern instructions. And the pattern instructions do involve gathering stitches into the skirt. I don't do that. I use the old trick that I learned from the Minerva dress by Colette Patterns, which is basically to take elastic, and I use the T6 transparent elastic because it's superior to all others. And you basically cut your elastic the width of your bodice, front and back, add a little bit just for your starting and end points, and yeah, mark it into 4 or 6 or however many bits you want, and just pin it onto the skirt fabric and pull and run it through the machine with a crisscross stitch of some kind. Crisscross, zigzag, you know what I mean. And yeah, it does the gathering for you. I find it much more convenient. It's also building that extra stability by adding the elastic to the waistband, so you don't have to add it after the fact, and I just feel it's a much simpler and a much faster way of finishing the gathered skirts on stretch garments. So yeah, got those made. I was also cutting out, if I recall, little pajamas for Henry. And here are said pajamas. Now, I made a pair of these. These are the Sew a Little Seam movie night pajamas. I made a pair of these in the age 12 months for Henry for Christmas, if you remember. If you're not new here, you'll remember. And they were an adorable, pop a picture in for you, Cookie Monster print, which I got from Blooming Fabrics. And I absolutely loved them, but they were just the right size for that short period of time. And I thought there's no point just going up one size. So what I'll do is I'll go up 2. And that will give the garments a lot more longevity, because he is growing this way faster than anybody can imagine. So he's now about, I think he's 2'8", which means he is over half the height of his mother. So I've gone up and I've made the 2-year-old pajamas because I love the design of these, particularly the trousers. I have opted to use the yoga waistband, which, you know, is nice and structured and snug. And I've also got the cuffs on the long legs. And then you have the little pajama tops, which again have the cuffs. So it's very easy to wear when they're a little bit bigger. As he grows into them, he won't grow out of them just as fast as he, well, pretty much already has the others. And we're not even a month after Christmas yet. So again, these were lovely fabrics, which Henry picked out himself when he went with me to Craftswoman fabrics. So yeah, this kind of like beautiful terracotta red dino print, and in my opinion, even cuter dinosaur print on navy blue with little volcanoes all over it. And I've used the same pieces for each of them. There are different variations of length. You have the shorts, the capri, the long. I've gone for long. And then I've made the yoga waistband because I just think it fits. He's quite slender, and it just means they're not going to fall down, which is great. And obviously I've made the long sleeves. There's a placket version as well, but that would be a lot of wasted work for a child of Henry's age. Perhaps if I was making them for an older child or for an adult, because I do believe it comes in adult sizes possibly as well. But yeah, I'd certainly maybe add the placket, which would be a lovely feature if it was for someone who wasn't going to grow out of them as quickly as blinking. So got that done. And then I was hooking through some patterns the other day, and I came across a stash of patterns that I'd printed and never made. And in there were 3 patterns which came from the Cashmerette Club. Now, I was very generously gifted a year's membership to the Cashmerette Club with absolutely no obligation to share or to review or anything like that. But I've made a few little projects from it now. I think the Brattle Top was probably the one that I revisited. I made it twice. But I'd printed off a few of the dresses. So let me just see. There's another couple here. I printed off the Franconia dress and the Hampton dress. So those I haven't made yet. The one that I made up first was the Kneaton, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, the Kneaton dress. And I'll pop a picture of the line drawings. They're here because obviously I finished sewing it yesterday and it's still open here on my screen. Described as a floaty woven frock, easy to sew and wear. And having now sewn it and worn it, I can confirm that that is true. The description also says what you'll love most is how well it fits. Right, so as ever, I can say Cashmerette has done a bloody awesome job of creating this bodice. There's not much fitting to worry about in the skirt. It's always the bodice that requires much more attention. And I literally just used the measurement chart. I cut a size 14 EF cap and it fits like an absolute dream. No adjustments necessary. I will pop pictures in just a little bit so you can see how well it fits. I probably should have graded out to a 16 at the waist if I was following the charts, but because the waist is then elasticated, that would have been a complete waste of time because there was already more space than what I would have needed. So I didn't see the point. So yes, elasticated waist for all day comfort, super comfy, guaranteed. And 2 sleeve options. There is a long bishop sleeve with an elasticated wrist flounce, which is the one I have opted for because it is still winter. And there is a short puff sleeve, which I can imagine would be super cute. Top it all off with roomy side seam pockets, because who couldn't use more pockets? I didn't put in the pockets. Firstly, because my time was pretty limited. I didn't want to faff about, I just wanted to complete a project. But secondly, I was sewing it in a rayon. And I find that while I love pockets, I really do, I don't love them in really floaty fabrics. I find them a pain actually, because if you put anything in them, it just disbalances the whole look of the dress. So I didn't bother. I didn't see the need for them. But if I was making it in a more stable fabric, then I absolutely would. So yeah, it says here you're ready for a backyard bash or an evening stroll along the water. It's the kind of pattern that you could literally wear anywhere. So here it is. This is the fabric that I have made mine up in. Oh my goodness, I'm so stuffed. Sorry, excuse my sniffling. I feel really bad. Anyhow, right, this is a Dashwood rayon, and the reason I opted for it is because it does have some of my tones in there. I don't usually do pastels and girly fluffy colours like the pinks and the lilacs and the purples, but it does have the orange, it has the rust, it has the mustard, and it's on a dark background. So this is from Minerva. It's a brand ambassador make. I will be sharing my thoughts in more detail over there. So if you follow me over on Minerva at my profile, you'll see more about this dress. So as I say, really, really simple, bias bound, and you can see the bodice front and back is cut, and it's not cut out on the fold. There's actually separation there. And I think that's really for ease of wear, but what makes that really interesting is that there is potential here for colour blocking, which I might do because I still do love the pink and red look, and I think I might end up colour blocking a version of this in pink and red. I've just found a stray thread, which annoys me. And yes, you'll see here there is the elasticated waist channel, so super, super comfy. The beautiful sleeve detail, which is just gathered in here at the upper shoulder to give it a lovely ease of fit, and also makes it look really floaty. And then that lovely elasticated flounce. I really like it. I'm going to pop the pictures in so that you can see what it looks like on. But absolute dream of a pattern, and you can bet there will be another of these cut out very, very soon. So that is the Canadian dress, if indeed I'm pronouncing that correctly. So where do I go from here? I have a couple of patterns that I have had printed, in addition to the patterns that I've already been pulling out that I've printed and never made yet, because there's stacks of them. There's actually an entire box sitting under the table. But I ordered a couple of patterns from Sew Over It. So if you remember, when I went to Craftswoman a couple of weeks ago, I bought a beautiful fabric to make the cocoa jacket. So the pattern is here. I also picked up the pussy willow blouse. And I'm not really a blouse person, but I have decided that I'm going to give it a go because I saw a version that Rosie was wearing over at Sew Over It, and I fell in love with it. So I'm going to give it a go. Maybe not this weekend, but I might cut out my cocoa jacket this weekend if I get a chance. And I'm going to make another Canadian dress. But I have other plans for cutting out, and I tend to do my cutting out in a batch because I hate it. It's the part that I detest the most, and then it just means I have options for when I do want to sew and I have the chance to. So the first fabric I have here is this lovely brocade, this metallic purple, black, gold brocade, which I got from Jenny Stitches. I think there's like 1.5 meters here. I picked it up as a remnant. I bought 3 meters of the darker colorway, but this one popped up as a remnant, and I thought actually I might just make a lovely Ava skirt, again the Sew Over It Ava skirt with this. I just thought it'd be nice, you know, for going out for dinner or something like that, just to have a wee bit of glitz. And I don't wear skirts very often, but I'm branching out, or trying to. So I've got that to cut out. I have to downsize actually from the last time I cut it out, so I'm going to have to print it and stick it together because I didn't send it away to be printed. But that's alright, it's a small pattern, it's not going to take a long time to do that. I've also got, again I think this was from Jenny, this beautiful large scale houndstooth. It's pretty much the same as the one I made the dress in, but a larger scale. And again, it's a Ponte di Roma, and this is just to make a little sweater. So I think it was the Seamwork Astoria sweater that I had pulled out, or Asteria, might be Asteria. Don't quote me in any case. And I have my black ribbing, everything pre-washed, ready to go. And then I have also got some bamboo jersey, which I got at Mad About Fabrics in Belfast one day, a few weeks ago now, after I made the Adele top, which has recently just come out from Sew Over It for VIP club members. And I want to make a basic black one, because who does not need a basic black top in their wardrobe, right? So anyhow, those are my plans, and that's what I want to get cut and maybe make a start on this weekend. But before I round up my vlog today and go and cough profusely somewhere, I will show you some really nice fabrics that have arrived from Elmhirst Fabrics. So, got rudely interrupted there. I'm trying to think, where was I? I think I was going to show you some new arrivals. So just before I do close the vlog, I was going to share a few things that I had purchased from Elmhirst Fabrics, right? So Elmhirst Fabrics stock a particular range called Actufactum, and I could be pronouncing that incredibly strangely, who knows, but nevertheless, they are 100% cotton designs. They are perfect for all kinds of projects, from craft projects to home interiors, to children's clothing, to even adult clothing, which is what I'm going to be doing with it. But the designs are gorgeous. If you love things that are cute, and I don't know, they just remind me of the innocence of childhood, many of the designs. There's some beautiful like garden themes and animal themes, but the ones that I love are the kind of like cartoony ones. And I have bought this thinking I'm going to make a cute summer dress. I don't know what dress yet, but we'll see. We'll definitely see. So before I show you the nice characters, I got, I think, I'm not sure if it's a Macawer, but they just stock lots and lots of lovely blends, the nice blender fabrics. So I got this beautiful colour, it's like a sunflower or something, to go with the fabric that I'm going to make a little dress out of. Okay, so it just picks up some of the accents in that fabric. But let me show you this beautiful, beautiful design, and you'll see what I mean. There's just something innocent about it. Look at all these little adorable woodland animals enjoying the library. And for those of you who are new here, I'm a librarian. Before that, I was a lecturer. I specialised in Renaissance literature. So anything that is like book themed, I really can't resist it. And there's no shame in that. I also love little badgers, and I don't know if there's any hedgehogs in this, but I love hedgehogs. They're one of my favourite animals. I don't see any, but all these little bears and the rabbits, I just think it's ridiculously cute. So this book lover has decided to make a summer dress out of this. I didn't want to make the whole dress out of this fabric, which is why I'm going to break it up with this and maybe do some patch pockets and things like that as well. But yeah, the book theme was just too cute not to buy. And then I've purchased a little bit of this before, but I purchased a little bit more. So it's the same little animals. You got your little badgers, your little bears, your little rabbits, but it's sewing themed. Look at them with their fabric rolls and stitching with their little pin cushions. One running his fabric through the machine. One's got balls of wool. Seriously, ridiculously cute. I love these things. Love them. So yeah, no idea. That's just to make some cute projects with, for the home, or even maybe a wee shirt for Henry or something, who knows. Not that he'll really appreciate that design, but I just thought it was adorable. And then I did, if I have any scraps left, I bought some of the coordinating ribbon. So you get coordinating ribbon to go with these designs. And I got the one to go with the books because I thought if I have any scraps left, I will use this little ribbon just to finish off some little bookmarks and things like that, which will often make really cute gifts for friends. And I have so many librarian friends and teaching friends who would appreciate that kind of thing. So I picked that up as well. So cute. You might think I'm mad, but I just can't resist it. And I will probably buy a few of the other designs as well. I actually got some before Christmas, but I have no idea where I put them. I'm going to go and look actually. I am going to have a look before I do anything else tonight. And another thing I bought, so I bought myself another cross stitch project. I don't need any. I have an entire case full of cross stitch kits, but I love this one. It's a Margaret Sherry design by Bothy Threads, and this wee dog features in quite a few of my cross stitch projects that I've completed, and it reminds me of my own little dog, so I got that as well. There's a lot to be said for a wildlife garden, and at the moment that is what my garden has become, because Henry has a new hobby of watching the birds. We feed the birds with little feeders, and even the little window box where he can just like stand and watch them, and he loves it. He gets very excited. He tries to catch them. But yeah, that's kind of what our garden has become. So it went from very, very few birds, just robins really, to all sorts. The most are the little blue tits. There's hundreds of them now in our garden. We've got the little thrushes, the little sparrows, the blackbirds are everywhere. They've all come out of nowhere. Little warblers, there's loads. There's absolutely loads of birds now. Little wrens. Yeah, I've lost track of how many. So yeah, that's what I am. A crazy bird lady now. But yeah, anything that, you know, gets them interested in nature can only be a good thing. But I'm going to go and look for those other little fabrics. If I find them, I'll show you them the next time I'm back on. But I'm going to go rest the voice. I'm going to go and get another lamp set because I'm living on those things today. And hopefully I'll be back to share with you a few successes in the next few days. So for now, take care, have a fantastic weekend, enjoy any sewing time if you get it, and I will chat to you all soon.